The venue is alive with the sound of dueling here in Antwerp for the European Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship. So we've just seen, obviously, a very interesting round 7 that came down to a judge decision right at the end. Quite a heated moment, quite tense, but it was good fun to have a chat with Kian after that. So right now we're moving on to round 8. On my left, we have Lorenzo Massi, and on my right, we have Oliver Newton, who has won the UK Nationals back in 2015. So we're very excited to see this duel go ahead. It's going to be very, very fun. So guys, I'm going to hand you guys the dice. Which one of you would like to roll? Go for it. Okay, so that means Lorenzo is going to be going first. Guys, best of luck. I'm going to hand you guys over to our Italian commentary team. So guys, take it away, Marcello and Alberto.
Hi everyone and welcome to round 8. We have 2 more rounds for the day and we will find out who will advance to day 2 where they will compete for a chance and a slot in the top 128, and what a match to do it. So
yeah, I think this is really the match to go for, especially because like not only we have a national champion back then, but the deck is playing is
definitely a spicy one. We have been scouting the top tables while Leo and Seb were keeping you company, and we were absolutely surprised by what Oliver has been playing. We know he has been testing this deck for a while, but we didn't expect it to bring it after Power of the Elements was released, because Oliver is on ABC, a deck we haven't seen in a while, but it's definitely a powerful one thanks to Union Driver, and he's also using a very unique deck list, a lot of interesting choices like evenly matched in the main deck, engage, all in an ABC deck, so it's definitely gonna be a very, very interesting one. But if there is a deck to test it well against, it is Lorenzo and his Pride deck. It must have been in the mind of Oliver, as you mentioned, a previous national champion, that Pride was going to be one of the decks. So I think he must think that it has a good matchup against it.
No, exactly, especially because like I think by playing these spicy cards, especially because like having different engines we have seen this weekend, how powerful it is to have like different approach to the game, I think he really has a chance.
No, absolutely, and I gotta say, I was a big fan of ABC back in the day, so I definitely looking forward to seeing it in action once again. But without keeping you guys waiting too much, our players are ready, so let's jump into game 1. So here they are, and as you might know, for anyone who has tried the ABC deck in the past, it is probably the strongest deck at going first, which might be the case of why Oliver included cards like evenly matched in the main deck to maybe mitigate his advantage. And you can see already having a Gamma on the Swap Frog, which is one of the big punishes here. If Lorenzo does not have a starter, he might just pass his turn back to his opponent. What a start from Oliver.
Ooh, okay. Yes,
but
teleport.
He does have, yeah, teleport is there, so one of the extenders in the deck of Lorenzo. We haven't seen teleport yet being played by a Sprite deck, but there is Ash Blossom as well. What an opening from Oliver. And yeah, he just passes back, and this could be a quick one. So we have seen a lot of very, very long game ones in the previous matches. Maybe we'll see a very, very quick one by Oliver. Let's see. He picks up his cards, he gets the impermanence. I think he has a Hornet Drone,
right?
Yeah. And here, Hornet Drones, this is where the confusing or fun begins. Because you might think this is a Sky Striker deck, and it's definitely not. So
I'm really curious to see now here, because like this is something that you don't usually often see, right?
No, absolutely. And if you're a Lorenzo, you're already questioning this Kagari, because usually you get to see an Ayate and then the Kagari on a different card. But now this is a very, very good reason why he's playing this deck. As you can see, he's able to go through with a quick spell, and equip it right from his deck. So you probably get a B or a Union Driver in this case. But yeah, I think, oh wow. There was an ogre in his hand, but a Uno driver banishes as cost. So unfortunately, he revealed an important piece of information to his opponent. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is very good, especially because like he placed 3 copy of it, so it's an addition, like a very speed card, you know.
Yeah, it's an interesting
Drone,
one.
yeah,
It's
okay.
an extender. When you go second through Zeke, you can force out a negation, but as you can see here, it's just an extender. You can play through your combos very well, and I'm liking it. So he knows though that there is a Ghost Ogre in the end from Lorenzo, so just has to play around that.
I think he also has this Colosseum. Could be. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
it
could be. He's playing, of course, the Tyrion engine, and let's see.
Yeah, he has a lot of good cards.
Absolutely.
I really like this deck.
Yeah, as I mentioned, going first is so strong whenever you get to your combos, and it's quietly fair. He goes for the line, I think.
Yeah.
Interesting line.
I think he could also maybe, if he has this Colosseum, he could push a lot of damage now.
Yeah, because sometimes you just go for the gadget, so the Platinum gadget, but we did not see him go for that. Instead, he opted to go for Lina, which is an interesting line, but let's see. He now goes, as expected, for the Tyrion, this Colosseum, and he's gonna get the Regulus down. So just in case anything was gonna come out, he now knows that the Ghost Ogre is not a threat. And this is so strong. Because as you know, you can just get back the Buster Drake, and now you get it for free. It's such a good interaction with the Tyrions. It's definitely really strong. So unfortunately,
I think, I mean, the Ghost Ogre, now Oliver is playing around it for sure. But I think he can push a lot of damage. Like, yeah, in normal summon C.
Yep. And still, this is again one of the reasons why the Sky Striker engine just makes sense. It doesn't waste your normal summon whenever you have the combos that Oliver is going through. And I think here, just pushing for a game is quite easy.
Yeah.
And we see a Cerberus, which is definitely one of those things you have not seen in a while, but
yeah, I think it's just there to let B trigger.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, you know, it's another body to push damage.
Absolutely. And here we can see l'Ammiraglio if you want, but no, it's less than 1000. So he's gonna go for either Unicorn, let's see. And afterwards, we are probably gonna get to see the ABC Dragon Buster, which is just the key card of the deck, of course.
I think he can go for game.
For sure, yeah, this is plenty of damage. So as expected, he's just playing around a little bit. He doesn't want to risk, I don't know, any Piru or any weird card on him. But well played by Oliver. It seems as we were expecting that we are gonna get a very quick game one. But when you start with Gamma and Ash, that's to be expected. Yeah, and here we see even the ABC Dragon Buster come down. And this is gonna be plenty of damage to take this game one. Let's see it. Yeah, gets into it, he attacks, and quick game one goes to the ABC deck, and Oliver Newton convincingly winning this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing to say at all.
Yeah,
like,
not much to say. I guess some players argue that the Gamma play, so we couldn't, of course, see the full end from Lorenzo, but some argue that you should not use the effect of swap prog right away because of this specific instance, but I gotta say that even looking at the deck list, most people are maybe siding Gamma. It's not really popular this weekend in the main deck, so I can't blame Lorenzo, but regardless, very well played by Oliver, comboing through and showing us why the Sky Striker engine could make sense. But now let's just take a look at the side decks. Of course, Lorenzo is going to be a little bit confused or concerned on what to put in. What do you think he is going to bring in?
Yeah, taking a look at the side deck, he has Solemn Judgment, which, like, I mean, going first.
Easy against any deck.
And he also has the Triple Tactics talent, which is like, after what we saw in game one, I think is for sure considering it. And on the other side, I think, I mean, as you said before, Oliver is prepared to play against this kind of matchup because, like, we have seen tier elements being played by a lot of players, along with sprites. So,
I mean,
like,
it's probably...
he has DD Crow,
yeah,
which is
DD Crow is okay. I think Cold Body Grave is a good option to break the Totally Awesome board. It depends how comfortable he feels with like Nibiru. We talked about how it's a very unique card right now in the terms of entraps, because by itself it's completely useless against Sprite, but paired with other entraps it becomes extremely good, and RP Feather Duster could be also another one, because dealing with the smashers in this deck is extremely important. So if, and it honestly could be the case for Lorenzo, you haven't played against ABC, maybe you don't know what to go for, but like smashers by itself is so strong in this matchup. So I think Oliver has, and he's gonna side out, maybe even Cosmic for this reason,
I don't even think you want to overside deck in this specific situation, given that, I mean, Oliver plays evenly matched in the main, Dark Lure no more, a lot of hand traps. Maybe I think Kolbai is a very good card against Sprite. I mean, the DD Crow is I think it's okay, but it doesn't really need that.
Even evenly matched is a weird one. Like, would you even side it against the Sprite matchup?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's that strong, but we'll see what Oliver decides to go for. Our duelists are ready, so let's jump back and find out the winner of Game 2.
Okay.
Wow, so we do see an opening of Shifter from Lorenzo. Interesting side deck choice, and I can already tell you Oliver is holding a lot of interesting cards. I saw a Nibiru, I saw a Dark Lure no more, and both are gonna be quite good here. I would be surprised if Lorenzo wouldn't go for a Gigantic and therefore make the Nibiru useless, but let's see.
I think it's interesting to see and why side decking, the Nibiru, because like I think it's a double-edged sword against Sprite, right?
Yeah, as we mentioned, like if you draw it with another entrap, it's great. If you don't, you're playing with one less card essentially. So high risk, high reward card. And now you can already see Lorenzo considering his options. I think Gigantic could be the correct one, and let's see if he's gonna go for it. So he doesn't, so things are already starting to be a little messy here, and we might see a huge punish from the Italian player once again, just like in the previous round we were covering. And now this is gonna be a huge punish. And he actually goes for a Link Summon too.
Ooh, goes for
wow, this is gonna hurt so much. Oliver with the unusual choice, but what a punish that will be once he drops the Nibiru on him. Wow.
This is crazy.
Unbelievable stuff, yeah,
because like here you have to activate the Nibiru.
Yeah, you can technically wait actually for the Gigantic just to activate, and then you chain it. And I personally wouldn't mind it, because what's gonna happen is he goes for Gigantic, but yeah, Nibiru comes down, and this is huge, absolutely huge. So, wow, what a turnaround of events. Just doing some quick math, and yeah, this is such a blowout. Wow.
It's like if you play Sprite, would you really expect to be Nibiru?
No, that's the thing, you probably wouldn't, and this is one of the openings we were discussing even with some of our friends looking into the event. Wow, that's so strong.
And Lorenzo sets one. This has caused a lot of problems, but now it's back to Oliver, which is full of spell cards. I think he has Onion Angers. Hornet draw once again. Yeah, I mean, this Colosseum, I think his hand looks very powerful. Yeah, okay, it goes with the Unio Anger, makes sense. We don't really quite know what Lorenzo is left with.
Yeah, but this is such a blowout. Of course, the shifter is gonna be slightly annoying because all of your ABC pieces trigger, of course, when sent to the graveyard. So Oliver is not gonna go super crazy on him, but the repeat was devastating from.
Because now, if you're Oliver, like, what can you expect? The back row will be like maybe impermanence, right?
I mean, I don't think you buy into it.
Yeah.
You're definitely looking into a bluff, most likely. So you're just not gonna care. Probably try to push as much as possible. And as you mentioned, it could be an impermanence, most likely, and you don't really care about that.
But you still want to play and consider the shifter, right? So you don't really want to get waste too many resources. Okay, it goes with B. He has a lot of options here, because like it really depends how many resources you want to get banished under shifter.
Yeah, because it's basically not gonna be the case. Can we check the actual deck to see if he plays any rank 4s? Because sometimes they do go for like Dweller or stuff like this. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, okay,
he does play Dweller. So
yeah.
he has also the option to just chill, let's say, and go for a Dweller, which is not even that bad, but I don't know. I wouldn't be a huge fan of it, I guess, because it's not gonna trigger the ladders. So I could even just pass in this instance. Let's see.
Okay, gets rid of the Unio Anger, it has this Colosseum.
Yeah. So he does go for the Colosseum right now, doesn't do much, but next turn he's gonna be able to at least protect his monsters, because of course, outside of the obvious add one effect, you have the second effect which protects monsters when destroyed by battle.
Yeah.
So you can at least have a protection here. Possibly, let's see.
Yeah, I think he could also consider to pass, right?
Yeah, for sure. There's no way, I think. Like, maybe you could go Mascherena, I guess, just to lose the C, which I think makes sense, actually. I think I would go Mascherena pass, which might be what we're gonna see. Yeah. I think it's the only play. Like, you keep the B, you go Mascherena, and then you have another interruption, I think. That should be the best play, I think. Let's see if he agrees. And yeah, IP Mascherena comes down. It was the best play by far, because now you get to go Unicorn, and I mean, you're expecting maybe an impermanence, but instead is a starter, and this makes me question the play even slightly more, but I mean, we knew about this. So he takes the damage, and at least he will be able to somewhat play around this Unicorn. And it's quite possible that he just gets the game back to him, because when you have one Unicorn is not enough. So let's see. What you would go for, like directly to the red? If you don't have any other engine cards, probably not. You should go for the jet, I guess. But
Yeah,
let's see.
go for it.
Now a lot of good possible top decks from Lorenzo, but as we had a very quick game one, there is no need to rush. Still plenty of time in the round. And yeah, once again he goes for the starter, basically just dealing a lot of life points to himself.
I think now, yeah, Unicorn is not sufficient at all.
Yeah.
I don't even think he has a...
No, it doesn't do much,
Impairment,
because now if you go to the Smashers, and
Yeah.
that's gonna happen, I think you're pretty safe. The only worry is the set card, but I mean, he's going second, so you don't really expect real back rows there. And I mean, again, it could be an impermanence on your opponent, but that's not the biggest of deals, I would say. So, okay, we do see the red. This is nice because it protects, of course, the Mascherena activation. It's not honestly that great against it, but it's possibly an option. And yeah, now we see the elf. So regular stuff here, nothing too special, but since he special summoned the blue in the end phase, he's gonna go ahead and use it again. So he could get to the carrot and just play super safe around any of these opponent back rows and possibly even a second Nibiru.
Yeah, he could go carrot, then the gigantic splight.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a lot. Oh yeah, okay, here comes the blue.
And yeah, he did activate the Mascherena, which was negated by the red by tributing the elf. That's why it's gonna go to the graveyard. But now, as mentioned, since blue was activated during the end phase of the previous turn, he gets to use it again. So
yeah, I think this now could hurt. Because like you can go into carrot, then you have the sprite, the gigantic sprite. You have quite a few options. Because beside the Regulus, I think he has the Dark Ruler no more in hand.
yeah, let's see if there is now a response on the back rows. No, Oliver just with his hand on his face, not really willing to do much, but let's see. Okay, so nothing too surprising. We do get to see the swap and finally sending the Ronin. So from here on, do you think he can somewhat push? Because we know Oliver was holding a Dark Lure no more in his hand. So
yeah, the more you can push, the better. Because like still, we'll soon see the Totally Awesome.
yeah.
I mean, Oliver anyways has the Dark Lure plus the Regulus. I think he also holds a Hornet Drones.
Absolutely. Wow, and he actually gets rid of... Okay, yeah. Okay, he gets rid of a carrot, yeah. No, okay. A little, yeah, it didn't seem like it would make too much sense, to be fair, but he finally goes for the elf, so he's gonna go for the Totally Awesome plus the carrot, which is good. It does prevent one of the negations, but I think Oliver has a fair chance to come back.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be quite a grind back and forth game, because now, as mentioned, I think he totally forgot about the other effect, so he's gonna be able to just use the Discolosseum effect and protect it. So, as you can see here, he just sends the Regulus, he gets to keep his Buster, and now Lorenzo is not in the best of spots. Did you think? Yeah, he probably forgot, right?
Yeah, I think he forgot it. Yeah. Because like most of the times you think about, you know, the first effect rather, you know, than the other one. So could be.
And yeah, play is back to his opponent, who we knew had a Dark Lure no more in his hand, and he could now use it to its benefit, and honestly it would be so strong here.
Yeah, he has a
and Nibiru as well. No, is it a Nibiru or
no? Is another?
No, the A. Yeah, 2 copies of Dark Lure and then Regulus. So strong end, because now you get to do a lot of stuff. And the Dark Lure is gonna be so good, and here it comes down. So no response from Lorenzo, and this will allow Oliver not to go for game, of course, but to combo off quite a bit with his ABCs. So the last line of defense is the Smashers we know about, which is still annoying, but we could see a lot of different possibilities. He goes right away for the Regulus. Interesting, because then the Smashers on the B hurts significantly. I don't know. I thought maybe because the B was summoned from the driver, so you couldn't really go for it. But yeah, Here, this is a no-brainer. I really like this play from Oliver. So, yeah, nice play. Gets rid of the B, which would have given Oliver a lot of cards. Instead, he gets to go for the Regulus, which isn't great, but I mean, you take it. And now, yeah, he just gets to attack over two different monsters of his opponent, who is left top decking, by the way. So, still looking good for Oliver. Just not as good as he could have maybe accomplished, but fair enough. So, what do you think he should attack? I guess, yeah. Both the carrot and
well, thinking about that.
No, because there is Dark Lurer, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. No damage taken, of course, but yeah, he gets rid of both. He will keep the dupe, so he has Ronin in grave, swap in hand, but nothing else. So looking decently fine for Oliver. Let's see. Play is back to Lorenzo, looking to draw one of his extenders, maybe.
This is a close one.
Yeah.
Let's see Lorenzo if plays. Plays also. Yeah. I think he could go into. If he can pass into Zeus, that will be very good for him. Like, yeah.
The problem is, of course, when your opponent is going to be able to use the Regulus,
yeah.
But I agree with you that if you go Cavalry, let's see. I think, yeah, the Centuria should be a good option.
Yeah, I will go for it.
To just at least even out the competition in a way. Yeah, I think I really like this. Let's see. He's considering it, I think. It looks like the best option, yeah, and he does goes for the Sky Cavalry. We'll see if the back row from Oliver was actually something relevant. Otherwise, we might see a complete board wipe. Of course, transitioning into the Zeus.
Yeah, I think this is by far the best solution now.
Yeah. He does go into battle phase, so he won't be using the Colosseum. Yeah. And now we go to main phase 2. We'll see Downer plus the Zeus, and yeah, this just completely clears the board. And evens out, because you can just use the Regulus, but it's not going to do much. So. Yeah, so Regulus activates, but then he just goes for Zeus once again, and he clears the board, so it was the Hornet drones face down. And now we know that the last card in Oliver hand is just the Dark Lurer, no more. So at the moment, doesn't do anything, but extremely simplified game state. Let's see if Oliver can top deck any usable card. It's gonna be tough because it's he's already used the Uran Driver, and it's only a one-off. So,
what would you like to top deck here, like Prosperity?
Or maybe Engage if he has another target. I'm not sure if he just plays the Hornet drones though. Probably just the Hornet drones. Yeah, so then it would be a terrible top deck. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good play. He's playing really well. So now, as mentioned, he resolved the first part of the Zeus, cleared the board, main phase 2 gets back to Ronin, and then can just go directly into the Elf. Which is gonna give him so much advantage, yeah. Great play by Lorenzo, I gotta say, this game.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about what he could top deck, like Onion Hanger.
Okay, so plays back. Wow, and he chose the second and third copy of Dark Lurer. So the score is even. It's 1-1. I don't know why he keeps revealing cards, but like they will go to the game 3, and it's gonna be a close one with 13 minutes left in the round. So Definitely a good game here. It was back and forth a little bit at the end. The Dark Lord seems as if he could get the best of him, but the Smashers was really good.
No, it was incredible, especially because like I think we were not expecting to see Nibiru, right? Because like we were saying that it's 50-50 against the Sprite matchup. But once again, it paid off, especially because like you don't really expect, in general, people to side in Nibiru, because like.
No, for sure. Nibiru was completely catching him off guard, but at the end, somehow he was able to recover, mainly due to the shifter, we gotta say, because the shifter kept his opponent at bay. He had an incredible end with the anger, and anger alone is pretty much the full combo. But luckily for him, he couldn't due to the shifter. So now things change a little bit, because we talked about how Oliver is maining cards like evenly, and now those are gonna come out. And instead, what is Oliver gonna bring in?
Yeah, once again we see Solemn Judgment. So definitely we were gonna see them inside, especially because like I think there are around 15 minutes left.
15.
So yeah, we have time. Also called by the Grey for sure. I think, 100%.
And yeah, pretty much that's it.
Yeah.
But his opponent, I guess Ogre is really good. So Ghost Ogre is really good because you can hit the anger and it stops pretty much the entire combo. Outside of that, we might see Nibiru, which is a weird one because if they have the Tyrion engine, then it's completely useless. I think Diddy Crow is cute.
Yeah, I like
you can hit one of the ladders and then they are. It's not like it doesn't stop the entire combo, but it's still annoying.
Yeah.
Especially because maybe at the beginning they go for A as a piece to get back something, so you can actually get a not a shoe for one, but like annoying them a little bit. And honestly, he has a lot of end shops in the main deck, so it's once again, as we mentioned, one of those deck lists where they take out some of the spells like Super Poly and Tactics, and they instead main so many end shops with Gamma as well. So I think the chances are pretty much even. This time around, we don't have, I think, at least in the side decks, I don't see any card to win in time. So either of them are going to try their best, I'm sure, to play as fast as possible in this game 3. But I think they're pretty much done with their side decking, so we can already move to the table, and they're going to start soon with one final game, game 3. Yeah, one last go of shuffling here, and these duelists, once again, as a reminder, are competing for a chance to advance to the day 2, which, by the way, they are already locked for, spoiler alert, but they still need a couple of matches to guarantee that top 128. It's very close, but still need that. Probably 9 wins should lock in. So.
Yeah, you are most likely guaranteed.
Yeah. So here they are. This is gonna be one of the last stands of the game, and I do see Prosperity in the end of Oliver, which is always very nice to see. And he's gonna start things off with the Prosperity. Great card.
Yeah, very great card, especially because like in a deck like this, one card alone makes you the whole thing, right? So even a Nuno Hangar or this Colosseum, he has a lot of good cards.
We have seen a little bit of a debate between like Desires and Prosperity, obviously not in ABC, but mainly also in Sprite. And I don't know, do you have a favorite among the two?
I am a fan of Prosperity, actually. It gives you a lot of consistency.
I think it makes sense, especially as you're seeing here, in a deck where you look specifically for cards like Anger, which is so strong by itself. I also love that in the side deck, it becomes such a great card. Like, it gets you all of your good cards when you're siding like Sanctum, Anti-Spell, Fragrance, stuff like that. Wow, and we do see the Ghost Ogre, though. That's a huge deal. We were mentioning how it is going to be sided in, and it's so strong here. Probably, però, l'ammiraglio.
I think it's coming.
Let's see it. He's playing Yeah, he does play the Link one, I think the other one. But yeah, for now he's gonna set Impermanence. I didn't quite catch the other one. And play is back to Lorenzo. So great and clutch Ogre. Okay, so now we see a Jet.
Okay.
And a blue.
And a blue. What does he have?
I know we are is Impermanence, but does he really want to go for it now? Wow.
Okay.
He does. Interesting.
Would you have waited?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it does all that much. Usually you would wait for the Gigantic. Also because now you might make them go into a different line of play. But let's see. Okay, ooh, he does have barrier. So interesting line with the waiting here from Oliver. Definitely not something you see every day being sided in this specific matchup, but it can be quite annoying. So,
and we were not expecting this to come.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Are you a fan of barrier against Sprite?
Not necessarily. And now, yeah, he's just asking his opponent if this Colosseum is mandatory. Instead, he's gonna just set one. Play is back to Oliver. Ooh, I think did he get the Union?
Yeah.
Wow, that's not a good one, but at least he can use it here. I think you always normal summon it and then use the Tyrion Regulus.
Yeah.
So yeah. And he does, so
yeah.
He normal summon the Union Driver, not the best way to do it, but it still gets things done. And we know that there is a Regulus in the end, so it's gonna come down right after. And I think Oliver is actually in a really good spot at the moment now.
Yeah, I mean, the Ghost Ogre hurt it a lot, but on the other hand, like, barrier was huge.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have nothing else, so...
And now we do see Regulus come down. No response, of course, as the interaction goes. He can use the Buster right away and then use the driver on it. So great stuff here by Oliver. And it doesn't seem like Lorenzo has a response of any kind for now. So this is gonna be so much damage and so much advantage for the UK player.
Yeah, I think Lorenzo might have, you know, the impermanence. Because, like, rather than that, I can't think of any other back row on his side.
Yeah. Do you ever go for like a Phoenix to play it super safe here, or what do you think you should try and go for?
I will not go for it. Like,
no,
I will not go for it.
Okay.
Like, I mean, most likely there's an impermanence over there.
Okay.
You know?
He's definitely considering, and he does go for the Phoenix, it seems, thinking quite hard about it. Yeah, he does. So plays it super safe. I can't blame him. Wow,
okay.
And a Solemn Judgment coming down on the Phoenix.
Yeah, I was not expecting Judgment by, like, I mean,
That's pretty much game by itself, though. So that's very interesting because he gets to use the C on the A, and then the ABC is just game due to the Solemn Judgment. So maybe a little bit of an early call here by Lorenzo.
Wow.
And this could cost him the game.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Exactly, there comes the Buster.
And here comes the ABC Dragon Buster once again, and all it needs to do is activate his effect, and maybe just an Ibiru could save him to force out the negation. Outside of that, it would be game every time. So let's see. Lorenzo is not picking up his card, so maybe he has it, but I don't think he even has a card. So yeah, the handshake goes, he reveals the Gamma, and Oliver and his ABC deck actually win the match 2-1. What a match. Once again, a national champion showing why, even though he won 7 years ago, back in 2015 with Teller Knight, still is here playing and competing at the highest of levels with a deck that has to be considered as one of the underdogs.
No, indeed, but like he showed us that in game one, like he completely shut down his opponent's field. He played really well. while on game 2 instead, like we were not expecting Nibiru to come.
Yeah, it was a very back and forth one. Essentially, we saw a shifter
Yeah,
going first,
exactly.
which is very, very unique by Sprite.
Yeah.
And I gotta say also kudos to him, because it means that he knows the deck a little bit, because he knows how much it can annoy him. But then we saw again twice in a row Sprite player not playing around Nibiru and getting punished for it heavily, because he passed with nothing on the field. But the shifter was essentially enough to keep his opponent at bay, and I guess if you give Sprite one extra turn, they can capitalize on it and just seal the deal. Game 3 again, back and forth.
Yeah.
We see Oliver, and he gets it by one of the side deck cards from Lorenzo, the Ghost Ogre. Great against Anger, of course. He sets Shoe Pass.
Yeah.
And we're thinking, okay, maybe this is quite shaky, because we saw the Impermanence, we didn't catch the other one. And Impermanence alone doesn't do anything against
Exactly.
Sprite.
Yeah.
And then his opponent goes for Gigantic, and the surprise comes.
Yeah. I mean,
Dimensional Barrier. Yeah.
usually this is a card that you 100% see against tier elements,
Yeah.
right? Because like it
one of the
basically,
best.
yeah. And I mean, it paid off, because like didn't have any other cards to extend this plays. Like usually you can go into Elf and continue, but it didn't have anything at all. And then it was the Judgment, because like if you do not activate the Judgment on the Phoenix, of course, I don't think there's a possibility you can lose during the turn, right?
No, at the same time, though, we took a look at the end.
Yeah.
There was a Gamma, which I think was probably drawn afterwards, so he couldn't really use it. And
the Smasher.
yeah, so I don't think he could have done much about it. Maybe set the Smashers to just,
Yeah.
once again try and if the Phoenix would have come down, maybe you don't stall him. But I think in the end, if you allow it to resolve, you lose regardless. Because even if he does an OTK, when he has Regulus and ABC is so strong against Pride. Like you mentioned how against Dragon Link, the deck struggles to deal with big monsters. And ABC does both. It puts up a lot of monsters, and he gets rid of the normal summon. So it's pretty much the perfect card against Sprite. And it did work out for him. So he's pretty much locked in. I don't want to jinx it, but he needs only one win out of, four rounds?
Yeah.
So to guarantee the top cut. And it's cool, and it's one of the highlights which, of course, we are going to cover tomorrow when we look also at the deck breakdown. Because top 128, once again, historical moment in Yu-Gi-Oh! We're gonna get so many different decks, like so many different decks. It's gonna be a fiesta in here. So I'm sure that ABC is not even gonna be the weirdest one of them all, and Oliver is showing that he's quite comfortable with the deck, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of these decks that either you playing for a long time or you don't play, at all. Like you really need to know what you're doing, especially because like in a format like this in which there are a lot of decks, we have seen everybody's playing like 15 hand traps. Dark Lure no more is played. I mean, ABC, you do not expect it to be like at 7-0, but it showed us how powerful it still is.
Yeah, you don't expect it also because you mentioned like back in the previous format, I guess 1 or 2 months ago, more 2 than 1, I would say. The ABC deck was considered the best deck at going first, because as mentioned, usually you could play even the Adventure package, and then you have so many ways to play around Entrops. But the problem was that it lost heavily to the Dark Lure. Yeah. And it wasn't popular back then. It was fairly recent when people started siding it. Now you go to an event where most people are maining 3 copies of the card. So playing ABC with no strategy to search, a trap card or some sort of other interruption is definitely something you wouldn't expect, but he is 8-0 with the deck, so that's an impressive future, and I don't know, it could be inspiring for any of you guys back home. I think it's, again, one of the things we tend to say, where you are comfortable with your deck, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Lately has been giving you the chance to top and do well with the deck of your choice. So without further ado, though, of course, the ABC master, the ABC god, however you want to call him, it's here in the room with Ed, waiting for the winner interview. So, before further ado, thank you guys for being with us for the round 8 future match. And now, war will be on Oliver Newton and Ed. Smash it, guys.
Thank you very much, Marcello. Much appreciate that. So I am joined by Oliver Newton, who has just won that round. First of all, Oliver, congratulations. How does it feel to be back at Euros and to be this far into the tournament with no losses?
No, I've lost one.
You've lost one?
Oh, and it was round 1 as well.
Oh, sorry. On my sheet, I saw that you had 8, XO. But losing one's fine. You've come this far. You've had a feature match. How does it feel to be back at the Euros?
Feels good after all this time off. I lost round 1 to Scythe, and then won 7 in a row.
Fair enough. 7 in a row is good.
So it feels great.
Excellent. So you're playing ABC, which is something we haven't actually seen a lot, which is one of the reasons that you were featured as well. We wanted to see an interesting deck. But you've also got some interesting picks in here, things like evenly matched. You're running a Sky Striker package and stuff. Tell us a bit about why you picked ABC, why you're running Sky Strikers in it, etc.
So basically, to be honest, I was completely unprepared. Like, I didn't really like the new set, and then I kind of wanted to come to Euros as well. I was testing a math mech and I really didn't like it. And then on the day, well, yesterday, because we had to submit our deck list yesterday, I was just trying to figure out how to make ABC work. Then, yeah.
As long as Scythe doesn't come up, then clearly it does work.
Pretty much. And, yeah, I literally submitted it with just less than an hour left.
Well, it's a pretty good last-minute deck then. It's exciting to see that kind of thing being played. You also managed to out Sprites, which, considering how popular that is and how meta it is at the moment, that's pretty exciting. So just going through your game, you obviously started game 1 with like a Gamma and an Ash in your hand, which really, really helped you. Game 2, you had a Nib and a Dark Ruler, and then you nibbed the Hulk. So there was a lot going on.
The Shifter, the Shifter definitely put in work for him.
Absolutely. And then we also saw there were a lot of frogs leading to a Zeus that you were up against, but you remained composed, you kept your cool, and you ended up taking that. So are you looking forward to your next games? Is there anything you're scared of going up against? Anything with Scythe in it, I guess?
Yeah, anything with Scythe, and I really hate Flunder.
That's fair enough. We've only seen one of those in our feature matches today. Hopefully you won't go up against too many of them. But one more time, Oliver, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again on your 7-1 now by this point. Guys, do not go anywhere because we're going to be right back with the final round of today's matches. It's going to be very exciting. Do not go anywhere.